Okay, we're going to give Miss Moorehead our undivided attention. She's going to come in and she's going to be talking to us, of course, about what we have been discussing as far as best practices for business and entrepreneurship. She's going to talk to you about market share, inflation, how all of that stuff affects business and startup, especially for those of you who are interested in going into the industry or even starting your own business of any type. This is not just for hair. She is a licensed cosmetologist, as well as she was certified as a braid technician first, and then she got her license in cosmetology, and she also has her own product line. This is not a sales pitch. We're not here to sell you anything, okay?
No.
Don't go back and say Miss K was in the school selling stuff. No, we're not here to sell you anything. We're here to show you how to start your own business with her own products. She buys all of her products. All of her stuff is organic. She's into holistic formulation for her products. She started her product line because her son was having skin issues with eczema. That's how she started her product. And so it has launched and
No, that's not my son.
That's her friend.
Oh.
That's her model. That's her co-model.
Yeah, that's my co-model.
That's her co-model. Her co-laborer in the vineyard, right?
Right.
Her boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she started her product just based off the fact that she needed a more holistic, organic product for her son and his skin issues. And it just evolved from there.
Yeah.
And it's grown into now she's on Walmart.com. I'm so proud of her.
Thank you.
She's got her product launched on Walmart.com and is now selling it there. So I will let her go from there.
Okay, that was a great intro. I think you covered everything. All right, so my name is Jamie Moorehead. I'm 36 years old. I don't know if I look it, but I feel like I look like y'all right now. But I've been an entrepreneur. I started off working and being an entrepreneur, so I've been doing this for about 6 years. This is year 6 for me, and this is year 2 as it being my only income. So I kind of have an agenda, but I don't want to be so orderly because I do want feedback from you guys, because this is just more than just me pitching being an entrepreneur to you, right? So I'm gonna go over entrepreneurship and the mental health part of it. The types of business that you should choose and where I messed up at. Being my own boss, and if it's something that you really think you can do, because a lot comes with that, right? It's not just, oh, I want a business because it looked good. It takes a lot out of you, right? And then your brand, as of right now, like you saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to build this. This is you. You're a representative of yourself. So if you can't represent yourself, then ain't nobody gonna buy from you, right? So you have to look up in the morning every day and be like, well, I buy for myself. Like, would somebody buy anything from me looking like this or acting like this, right? Okay. And then if you are sold on being an entrepreneur, how do you start? Because it starts now. You may be in high school, but I know high schoolers making money right now, right? All right. So does anybody have any questions before I start? Like anything that you want me to pinpoint, anything that's on your mind before I actually start? No questions? Who wants to have a business though? So you want a business, okay? What kind?
Crochet.
A what?
Crochet.
Crochet?
She
So
already
you wanna-
has her. Let me introduce Lamaya.
Okay.
She already has her own business. She's starting. She crochets like cover-ups
Okay.
for really nice thing for swimsuits and.
Oh,
and
so you make clothes.
Yeah, she's already doing that, and she's gonna get her certified. She's gonna become a certified braider at the end of this year.
Okay.
So she's doing braids, launching all of that. She's getting ready to go on Etsy to sell her.
To sell your stuff.
So yeah, I thought this would be good for her. Show
Okay.
her how to do that startup, get your website together, and all of that.
Okay. So how much money have you, like, did somebody give you money to start up, or how did you start buying your stuff to crochet in the first place? Who invested in you?
I did.
You did. I see. That's good. That is good. That's
Hey,
great. How old are you?
I will say this. Go ahead, baby. Miss, you made me lose my thought. Not to interject, but just what she said. Madam C.J. Walker said, which was one quote that I love that kicked me in business. I got my start by giving myself a start.
Right.
So you have to invest in you.
Exactly.
You're investing. It's an investment. Anything you do going into this industry, isn't it? She invested in herself. In
Right.
Her product.
Right. Right. So, anybody else want a business? Nobody wants a business? Okay. I mean, that's okay, because sometimes you guys are the supporters of that business. That's still more valuable than the actual business, because if you don't support the business,
You don't want a business? Me? Don't you do nails? Yeah. Don't you do braids? Okay, then you are the business. You are the brand. That's your business.
so you
Right.
do that now,
Yeah.
right? How old are you?
You 17.
Okay. Well, you try not to say it because it's not legal right now.
Yeah, she is legal. She is a certified braider.
Okay, then you can say something. So you have a business.
She got certified last year at the end of the school year.
Yeah. So see, you have had a business since 16. Have you seen growth in your business?
Who is
You
it?
have? Okay.
All
All right, so I'm going to give a little bit about me. I started my business with $75. I had a problem, which is my son has had eczema since he was a baby, and we were using steroids, and his skin had got so thin that when it would turn winter, he would break out in hives, okay? And it would just, like, that scared me alone, and then I had to put more medicine in him to make that hive stop, right? At that time, I was working in the medical industry, and they were telling me that I would just need to switch to another medication, and that wasn't satisfactory for me, okay? Because he was only 5, 6 around at that time, and his skin was already damaged, okay? That's not, he older now. He's 14 now. He just turned 14 the other day. So I did some research. I started off with a basic formula. I ran with that formula and then developed more of that formula over a couple of years. Like, oh, I can add this, let me remove this. And we did that for about 1.5 years until I got it somewhat right? And I remember sitting at home one day and my mom was like, hey, you know, it works for your eyebrows growing back. Like, you know, my edges was gone and I put it there. I was just trying, and my mom had older skin and she was, I don't know, have you seen old people where like it's them to hit something, they start bleeding because their skin is so thin? So she started using it for that, and then she was like, maybe you should just try selling it to people, right? So I sat on that for like 3 weeks. I remember I was going to work and I was like, can you try this and see if you like it? Try that. You do that, just know that people are going to say whatever they got to say. You have to keep wanting to do it, right? And so I had $75 in my bank account, and I was like, it won't hurt to see if this is going to work. Right, so I got me a little website off of GoDaddy. I paid like $15 for that with my www. I started with my Shopify e-commerce type situation with a buy button, really. So not the full website, just FYI. I'm trying to give you cheaper routes to go, okay? And then what else? Bought some of this stuff off of Amazon. It was quality, but it wasn't what Jay's Butter is now, right? And my first order was my brother. My brother bought for me, and I was like shocked, because usually people don't buy from you because they don't know you, right? That is really important. It's the branding. So what, I'm gonna go back a little bit. My mission is to simplify people's lives, right? We have products. How many products you got in your cabinets? Just, are they full of stuff? Like, whether it be the antiseptic, if you get a cut, you know, things of that nature. So what I had decided to create in just creating Jay's Butter for my son was something that made sense for a mom. Now, y'all ain't parents, but we be out here with y'all, you be tearing yourself up, and we don't have nothing in our purse to help you at all. Why not make something that makes sense? Does that make sense? So I want to replace all of your chemical products and give you something that's natural and healthy that actually heals your body. That was my purpose. Okay? Everybody got that? Any questions? No questions? You look like you got one though. All right. So I'm gonna wait on that. How Jay's Butter took off was when I figured out that it worked to grow hair. I decided to do what we call a healthy hair challenge. I asked if there was 3 volunteers that would allow me to do their hair for the next 6 months. and use the product, and I would actually do their hair for free as long as they bought the product. With that being said, I went from having 3 clients. What I got, like 180 clients now. I have 100% return rate. And I have testimony after testimony of things that my product has done for somebody else. That even I'd be like, oh, it did that? You know, because I'd be shocked. But I went from having 3 clients 5, maybe 6 years ago to 180. And I was doing it illegally until I met Charlize at a trade show one day.
Miss Kinslow.
Miss Kinslow. Oh, I gotta call you by your professional name. I met Miss Kinslow at a trade show one day, and at that time I told her I wanted her to be my teacher, which was funny because she was actually working at a different location at the high school, and she was like, I can't be your teacher because of where she was working at. And then
They know I work at the prison.
Okay, at the prison. And so a year later, she actually got, I wouldn't say certified, but licensed to teach us so we can be braid certified. And that's how I actually got legal. Hair wise, I've been doing hair since I was 13 years old. I'm really from Los Angeles, California. So I was really a hustler from a long time ago because I'm 36 now. I've been making money. With that being said, has anybody got questions? Any questions? What's your name? You just walked in here. Isaiah? Okay. What you want to do with your life? You don't know yet? Okay. All right.
Well, tell her why you came. Why you here? Why did you want to come today?
My presentation? Because you're trying to figure it out, right? What options do you have in your head, though? You don't have none? What you good at?
Football.
You good at something else than football. He
What?
likes to cut hair. He
Oh,
does
you can
like to
cut hair.
when he's not goofing off
Okay.
with the clippers. But
Okay.
he does like to cut
He
hair.
was always goofing off the boots, so he don't know.
Y'all petty. So, all right, I'm going to talk about the mental health part of being an entrepreneur. And I'm gonna be honest, is high school hard to y'all? Like, is it hard?
Yes.
Why is it hard? What makes high school hard? Talk to me, girl. You over here shaking your head. It's okay. What makes high school hard? All the work, right? The pressure. Right, but it's still pressure, right? You be stressing. Who stresses you out? Everything. Okay. All right. Is it high school hard for anybody else in here?
When she says hard, she's not meaning like the work, just balancing. That's what she's getting to,
Yeah.
right? That's what you're alluding to. Balancing school,
Work,
home, work, right?
Yeah, like at first when you people get students get a job, it's hard to balance.
Right. So, how many of y'all would consider yourself disciplined? Are you disciplined? Do you know what that means? Do you? All right. Tell me what that means.
I take it as like you got yourself in order.
Right. Well, go a little bit further with that for me. When you say order, what is that? What's that look like for you?
I don't know.
You got a schedule? You stick to that schedule? Okay. All right. If you don't get the response you want, do you quit? Who in here, if somebody doesn't give you the accolades or the thank you that you think you deserve, how many of y'all quit? Who quit? If you weren't good at football, would you continue? Why? You don't know? Something to do? You like it though, right? You love football because you're going to play it regardless. All right. So you have to love yourself enough to invest in yourself, to love your business enough to make your business succeed, because not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to support you. You have to know what you are creating and what value that brings to the world. Does that make sense? We all on the same page? How many people think in here that y'all think you're valuable? Somebody nodded. You? You think you're valuable, did you say? Or you just go like this?
Me?
Yeah, you. You don't think you're valuable?
No.
You don't? Why?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So the reason why I think mental health is really important and touching basis on this is because I didn't know, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know entering into entrepreneurship how much it would take mentally to keep going, right? How much self-motivation you would have to push through. And so I think what happens is we look at people and we're like, wow, they're so successful, whether that be Rihanna, whether that be Jay-Z, whether that be whoever, you know, whatever, I don't know what rappers y'all listen to right now because I can't figure out who's who because they all sound the same. But Lil Baby, Da Baby, what, am I right? Like, is that those names, right? Am I saying it right? Don't laugh at me. I'm just but there's things that they go through behind closed doors that you guys would never understand. And so sometimes when you see them have a mental breakdown, you're like, what? Not them, but yes, them. Because you imagine looking at the comments of everything that somebody got to say about you and then living normal after that.
That's good.
I mean, just being honest, right? We all like to post a picture and get them likes and them hearts, right? You ever post a picture and I get one and you knew that picture was fine? Right? How you feel? How did that make you feel? How did it make you feel? You felt some type of way, right? Like to the point where you're like, I'm gonna take this down. We're gonna try this again next week because they should have liked my photo. If that is the reason or the motivation behind what you're doing, you're going to quit.
That's good.
You're gonna quit. And so you have to believe in you. You have to. Even with just the regular day stuff that you're doing, you have to believe in you. You have to be disciplined enough to know that you're worth it. Okay? So that means get up even when you don't want to. Show up for class even though you don't like it. Do this even though you're just needing the credits, right? Because I know there's some people in here that's just in here because they need the credits. We've all done that. Right, Ms. Slow?
90%.
But you have a good teacher, so you're gonna learn more than what you signed up for. Take that opportunity. Does anybody have questions? Talk to me. Don't be all like, I'm not lecturing you. Like, talk to me. Who said they wanted a business? You. How is that going for you?
Oh, that's good. I like doing nails, so it's good for me.
Have you had interaction with a customer that wasn't satisfied yet? Not yet, right? How do you have you mentally prepared yourself for that yet, though?
I think about it, but like to a certain extent.
Are you your biggest critic? So in your mind, you just be kind of like bracing yourself for anything. You're good. You're good. So what would you tell your class at the age of 16, starting your own business? What would you tell them?
I would say you can't be in it for the money. You gotta like to really want to do it. Like if you're in it for the money, then it's like you're not gonna go nowhere.
Right, you have to give away some free stuff at some point, right? How'd that feel?
Do you give away free? Do you give away free services?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Do they come back? And do they refer? Sometimes, right? So it ends up being beneficial to humble yourself. You're going to have to be humble in whatever industry you decide to be in. Do you know what humble looks like? It looks like not saying what's on your mind. When you really feel like you should, right? Humble yourself just a little bit because people are going to, especially as you get bigger, people are going to, I don't want to say that because I don't want to, but they're going to attack you a little bit more. You know, they're going to try to bring you back to where they're at, right? And so I guess what I would love for y'all to do is just take that mental health portion and really think about it. And then utilize that in any industry, any job, anything that you choose to do and further yourself with, right? Whether that be football or becoming a barber, maybe. Anybody else want to be a barber? I didn't see you. Where did you come from?
Edward. He wants to have his own business as well, but he wants to do trucking.
Okay, so what's gonna make? All right, well, I'll move forward a little bit. All right.
I have a question.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Could you speak to, because you asked them how, you asked her about the client that is not pleased.
Right.
So how does that impact your decision making when you have that client who's not pleased? Do you just not take them anymore? Do you just not have them come back and say, okay, I'm just cancel culture that we're in?
No, you don't cancel your client. So you have, here we go. You have to have policies and procedures. Please, if you have a business, don't do like I did or Miss Kinsler, because you had no policies and procedures initially, right? Because people will kind of, not where you cover all bases and you're like, I wasn't thinking about that now. But you need to have, a policy, and you have to stick to that policy, and seriously stick to that policy, because I have bended the rules, and then that person has, Lord. Anyways, for my policy, I've had, at least two tries of getting it right with that individual before we say, and I'm honest. I'm like, I'm not the stylist for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I apologize, and you have to apologize even if it's not your fault. That's why I said humble yourself. Because even if it's not your fault, I used to work at this place called Nordstrom's in California, and their motto was the customer is always right. We used to take returns back from shoes that was from Target, and we knew they were from Target because the customer is always right. They are a $1 billion business that has, just substantiated their customer service above reproach, and that's just really what it is. And that I'm glad for that job, because it told me that no matter, even if you are right, you have the receipts and the proof. The customer is always right. That one customer could tell 15 people not to come to you, even if it's a lie. Right? So you have to do what's right regardless. So you apologize, you tell them, again, per my policy, since you haven't been satisfied the last 2 times, I refunded you half of the service back, or however you worked it, and it just seems that we're not on the same page, and that there's a couple other stylists that you could refer them to if that's what they want to do, but it's in the best interest of both of y'all if they no longer come to you. And it's hard. People don't like that. I would say that I had somebody go off on me. I was like, you really can't come back now, because you was thinking that the whole time. You can't come back. But you still have to do the right thing. And that's how I would handle it. You just have to apologize, have a policy in place, and stick to your policy. And understand that it's your policy, it's your business, it's your brand. I had one lady tell me she didn't like her hair, refunded her the half of the money back. Come to find out, she did like her hair, and everybody else did too. And she was just rocking that thing, and I was like, I guess, hold up. I just got played. I got played. And so that's a part of the industry that I'm in. That's what happens sometimes. But once you figure out that that's that type of customer, then you have to make the policies to make sure that you don't keep that customer in your seat, because once they figure out they can get away with that, they'll continue. They will continue. So I want to talk business licenses, especially local type situation that I messed up on. When I started my business, I started it as a sole proprietorship, and I started locally as a minimal liability license for several reasons. One, I did not want to pay in taxes quarterly. I was being lazy. And 2, it was cheaper. It just made sense. And I never thought that my business would become my sole income. And that's where you mess up. Don't sell yourself short because you don't see what the future has to hold. Because when you switch your license, you have to start all over again. So I couldn't go from a sole proprietorship and then just switch to an LLC. I had to reapply. And that takes away to me all the years that I've invested in that sole proprietorship. My minimum liability license, then you get penalties because I ended up making over the $9,999. So I had to pay in. So you have to be smart and think ahead a little bit of how big you want to be. Does that make sense? Do y'all? I think Miss Kinslow had went over like LLCs, S corps, and all of those type of
That's what we
things.
just got through talking about, so
Yeah.
you can, hit on that a little bit if you want to.
Okay. Did you print off that thing?
What was I supposed to print out?
It was like
You didn't print out, you didn't tell me to print something?
I did.
What you talking about? I can print it right now. What is it?
It looked like it's just a chart because they kind of basically
You
It-
send it to me? To
yeah,
here, to the
it-
school, or to the personal email?
maybe the personal along with the PowerPoint.
The first PowerPoint, okay.
Yes, the one that you had told me to come down a little bit on.
Okay, go ahead, I'm getting ready. They need copies?
Yeah, I was gonna say you could give it because it actually gives them a check off list of what each business option does and doesn't do, if
Got
that makes sense.
Or you want me to just pull it up, well,
I got it up there. I don't know if they
you
can
already
see
got it up there, okay, I'll
Mhm.
print it out for you.
So if I'm gonna start with you because you have a business, what do you see your future to be?
Both of them, she's talking to you, Lamar, as well.
You don't know. We gotta figure it out.
This one, guys, if you all can identify yourselves, those who want to go into the industry, so she knows who to address and ask the proper questions. Could you please raise your hand? Who wants to go into the industry or any type of business? Raise your hand.
Okay, so you two, and then the quiet one back here who's trying to look down. You gotta look up. I need to see you. What's your
So
name?
I have 1, 2. You going? No, Danara's now. She's an airline student. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Okay, we got 6.
7. I got 3 on this side, 3 right here. She's
Okay.
the color specialist right here. I don't know why she's not talking. This young lady right here with the gray sweater, and
Is the color specialist?
this one right here with the green sweater. She right here in front. The quiet
Oh,
one right
you.
here.
That hasn't said nothing the whole
Right.
time.
So come on, guys.
Okay. All right. So, but y'all all want to go into business for yourself.
Or work for a salon.
Okay.
They're still trying to figure it out.
Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna ask you if you were able. Yeah, you. If you were able to go into business for yourself, where would you see that business going? But how are you gonna have employees? You gonna have your own building? What are you gonna do? Are you going to get so big that you don't have to work and train people instead, and then go home? You don't know. Okay. All right. You said you don't know. We got you right here who already working.
I thought about it. I thought about like starting off with a small building with people that know how to crochet, so I don't have to do that. I crochet for myself to help me sell my stuff. That's just something I want to do like later on.
So would you rather start off as a sole proprietor, or would you rather start off with the LLC because the future looks different for you?
I want to start off with LLC.
Right.
Now she's my junior. We haven't talked about that with my junior.
Oh, she hasn't.
No, she's in my junior class. Only my seniors have talked about the business.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know a little bit about
But
it.
you've read it. Yeah, you could. So each county, another thing too that's really that you should know, you will file with the state for your LLC, your S corp, your sole proprietorship, whatever that big one is. But you will also have to go to your local county clerk's office and apply for an actual license. When you go to do that, you have to have your EIN number, all of that. So you really need to start with your state first, okay? Each county has a different set of rules. So I can't tell you how much it's gonna cost or which one to pick, but I think that every county has a minimal liability license. Because you're young and you know what I'm saying, you should start with the minimal because you'll be adding more onto yourself by trying to keep up with quarterly taxes. That's a whole nother class in itself.
Right.
Girl. So start off with the minimal. You'll only have to pay the registration fee once a year, and that's your only. And if you have supplies and stuff that's on hand, you won't have to pay in. And the goal is not to pay in. Because I did taxes for the first time this last year, and I didn't have to pay in. I actually got some money back. I'm not gonna tell you why, because I don't want to encourage that. But because you know, if you have a kid, it's just
Right.
it
Yeah.
can't. But I don't want nobody
Right,
in here
yeah,
to think it's
you're
cute
not
to have a
encouraging
kid.
I'm saying you're not
Right.
encouraging anything illegal. You're not encouraging anything illegal.
Okay, I don't want to think. I want y'all to think it's cute to have a kid. So I already went over discipline. I went over that. What do y'all think are the advantages of being your own boss?
Unfortunately, this is not printing. It's chopping it off.
Is it chopping off? It's okay. It's okay. I'll try to figure out. We'll just move on. What do you? Can somebody give me an advantage of being a boss? Your own boss.
You can make your own schedule.
You can make your own schedule. Okay. What else?
You don't have to worry about other people doing something wrong. Like, you do things the way you want to do them.
Okay. Who else? In the green. Yeah, you.
She's like, me? Talk? What? No.
Yeah, you.
I was gonna say you can have freedom.
Okay. What do you consider freedom to be, though? Like the ability to make your own decisions. Would you say that? Okay. Lady with the red shirt on in the back. You saw, yeah. An advantage. You don't have to ask anybody for information? Permission. Okay, so you make all the decisions in your business, right? What about lady in, I don't know their names, but I don't like them, but
Jennifer? Just say, hi, my name is Jennifer, or hi, my name is Danielle. Daniela?
An advantage? I would say that you get to build your business the way that you want to build it, like that means hiring people who you trust and like what's it called? Partnering with someone like another business, you get to choose that as well. That'd be an advantage, at least for what I would see.
Okay. What about you over there in the Deidres? Yeah, you went to Deidres over there. Do you work for somebody right now? No? Okay. You live with your mama and daddy though, right? Okay, if you left there, what would be the advantage?
What would be the benefit of you leaving home? Okay, being by herself.
Okay.
Oh, I like the one up there that says, you learn how to deal with pressure.
Oh, right. Right, because y'all feel like you're under pressure right now with me asking you questions, right?
You have 8 minutes.
I have 8 minutes. Okay. All right. So let's get to the I guess really I could just end with the branding. All right. I'm going to end with branding.
Branding, how to build your brand.
How to build your brand. Everybody has a niche. You got to find the niche, right? There's something about you that resonates with somebody else. But you have to be true to you to figure what that is. Usually your niche is something that you do naturally that kind of bores you. It's just something natural. And people are like, you're so good at it, and you're like, I don't really like doing that. But it is the gift that was given to you. So you have to utilize that gift. She crochets. There's a bunch of people that crochet, right?
Mhm.
What makes your crochet so much better that I should pick you? Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make different stuff from like what I see other people making.
Right.
Like I see something and I try to like twist it.
Okay. So you tweak it, you make it your own, right? And people are like, oh, she's unique.
Mhm.
And so that's the industry, no matter what industry you get in, there's some that are not heavily saturated and there's some that are. The trucking industry is heavily saturated. You wanna be a truck driver, you're gonna have to find something that these other truck drivers aren't doing that you can do to provide a better service that nobody else is getting. Does that make sense? So like I'm in the hair industry. There are 1,000 stylists. There's 1,000 stylists that are licensed and not licensed. Okay? And they are good at what they do. I can't hate, right? Hating is not gonna make you better than them.
Right.
It's just not. But what makes me different is I like to build my clients from the inside out. So I think more so a lot of times they come for the conversation. When they leave, they feel the way that they look and they continue on with that. But I also provide them with I also give them the solution to the problems they said they had when they started in my chair. Whether that be dry hair, whether that be bad skin, whatever that be, that I allow them to be themselves, but also to glow and grow at the same time. That's what sets me apart. That's why they keep coming back. Now they don't refer nobody so they can keep their seat because I ain't got no space no more for nobody because I'm one person. So what makes you different? This is even just in school. What makes you different when you're on the job? What makes you different? I'm gonna ask, you do nails. You know there's a lot of nail techs out here, right? They be doing their thing, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's nice. What makes you different? Why should I come to you? What you gonna give me? You have a really nice smile though. She seems like she's just real warm. So that, I mean,
She's warm.
oh, you got an attitude?
She's warm. That's the way to describe it.
What makes you different? I can see your nails from here though. I can see them from here. And I
She's
don't
good
get
at
my nails
advertising her
done.
work.
Huh?
She's good at advertising. She keeps her nails done, so
Yeah.
she's good at engaging in that conversation and startup.
Yeah.
Oh, your nails are pretty. Who does your nails? Bam.
Boom. Cause I can see them from here.
Right.
And I don't even like, I don't do my nails, right? But you're making me think that I might need to try it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, babe, you do good work. If I can see it from here, it is your work that speaks for itself. That's what you can provide for me. And your confidence, right? So, branding is a niche. You need merchandise. You need for your colors. If you have a logo, your colors are your life at that point. I have 4 colors that I intertwine. It's black, gold, white, and then I do use this blue right here because that's my favorite color. I try to go my personal self within my business just a little bit for branding purposes. So you have to find your niche. You have to be your brand, even down to